Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live session of GETI Talks. My name is Shilpi, and I'm the Relationship Manager with the Global Education and Training Institute. Thank you, Ms. Deepa Garg, for joining into the disruptive education started by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. Well, when we talk about education, mostly what comes to our mind is a school building, teacher, and a four-walled classroom. But then, education has taken up entirely a new shape in the 21st century, which is known as the holistic education. What is this holistic education? I will just give you a one line introduction. The rest will be given by our guest speaker. Well, holistic education entails mind, body, and spirit, right? So over to you, Ms. Deepa Garg. She is the coordinator with the New Era Secondary School in Vadodara. She has an experience in the field of education for the past 20 years. She has been the recipient of Global Teacher Accreditation Award by the British Council in collaboration with the Cambridge University, United Kingdom. And also, she has been many times a resource person for teachers training. Thank you, Ms. Garg, for again joining us. And over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Shilpi, for those kind words. It's my honor and privilege to be here. I wish to thank Ms. Sunita Gandhi, the founder member of Global Education and Training Institute. Let me begin by sharing a very humorous take on teachers, first of all. I'll just share my screen. In a moment, yes. All right. That's my screen. And it says that your heart is slightly larger than the average human heart. But that's because you are a teacher. I'm sure all of you would be able to relate to this. See, children come to us like mystery boxes with pieces of puzzles. Some pieces are very prominent, some are broken, some are missing, and some are hidden. But the heart of a teacher can sort them all out and put the pieces together to create a wholesome personality. And how? Well, I'm going to take you to that journey and will tell you about the A to Z of early childhood care and education. A child, for his holistic development, needs the following things. A to Z of early childhood care and education goes like this. A, alphabet, art activities, and activity-based learning. We all know that alphabets are a very important part of any teaching learning process. They are not all, but recognizing, matching, circling, relating with objects, writing, those are the basic things which we all do with alphabet. Then art programs we have in our schools, painting, pasting, printing, paper folding, to name a few activities. And very important thing is we follow activity-based learning, which includes things like follow the pattern, associative pair, puzzles, role play, and find the difference between the pictures. There are some more activities which can be done by a teacher. See, we have to make it as interesting as possible. Alphabets, we cannot be doing it in the old methods. What you can do is make it interesting for the children by asking them to feed the alphabet C with C related objects. You can make a basket with C written on it, and children can be asked to put all C related objects. It could be a toy of camera, or it could be a cat, and everything. They can put the things that begin with C into that basket, or they could write alphabet in sand with brush dipped in water on blackboard. They can jump on called out alphabets, and as you can see, they can make alphabet with cotton buds also by arranging the shapes in alphabet. These are just few activities to make your learning teaching process very interesting. Art activities in progress. Moving on to the next letter, that is B. B tells us that we have to provide lots and lots of books to the children. They are the best friend of the children. And another B tells me about brainstorming session, which we have to be doing with our children. Always forget to ask all these questions whenever you're teaching to the children. Who, what, when, where, how. Like suppose if I have this pen in hand, I can just ask the child, what is it? Who uses this? When is it used? Tell me something about it. And what is it made up of? All right. So these are the kind of brainstorming things which we need to keep doing with the children for their optimal development. Next is communication with C, creativity and celebration. Well, as per the skills of 21st century, which are very important, communication holds a very prominent place. So it has to be done on a very vigorous way with the children. Keep talking with the children as much as you can. It could be through games, activities, whatever ways. So to name a few, you can have a game like color word association. I may just ask a child that, okay, yellow. So what things come to your mind when I say yellow? So the child has to associate that color with different objects. It could be a lemon, or it could be some soft toy with yellow color. Things like that can be given to make it interesting for the child. Then you can ask the child to create a story. Give them just some link that, okay, the pen fell down. And now the child has to pick up the thread, and each child has to keep telling and taking forward the story. That is something which can be done by parents also at home. Then another activity for communication is guess what I'm thinking. So, you can make it very interesting and give clues to the children, and the children, they have to ask questions to you. It could go something like this. If I ask you to guess, okay, something, I'm thinking of something that is rectangle in shape. It is in my bedroom. It gives me cool air. That could be the thing. And now the children have to keep asking me questions that, is it, are you talking about fan? Then I would say, no, I said rectangle, so it is not a rectangle. Then they have to ask me questions that, okay, are you thinking of rectangle, some bag? Then I say, no, no, it's in my bed and it gives me cold air. So it is not even that. Then they come out to things like, okay, it could be a AC or that is the way this game can be played. Riddles are there, picture reading are there, object talk is there, word ladder is there, something playing like Antakshari. I say a word, tomato, and the child may say orange. And then it continues like picking up the last letter. So vocabulary building happens, and describing pictures is another thing. Creativity, the next item. Very important that they indulge in lot of creative learning. Celebration, important days can be celebrated by all the teachers in different schools or online classes as well. This is just an interesting picture I wanted to share on creativity. These are tires, and our children had done the art activity by decorating the tires. And as you can see, they're having a tea party with all the tables and the chairs which are made out of tires. So that's creativity. Moving to the next letter, it's alphabet D, dance. Yes. See, it's very important that we let the child in us always remain alive. So put on some nice loud music and dance with your children. It gives, I tell you, it is real fun activity, and it really rejuvenates the mind and the body. So please, if you have not done that since a long time, go ahead and do it with your children. Another activity is discovery. So discovery, I would be just taking a little more time, and the next is digital literacy. So these two, discovery and digital literacy, very close to my heart. So I'll take a little longer time explaining about them. See, it's very important that we keep a lot of resources in our environment. At homes also, you can give these to your children. Things like, rather than telling the child that when you mix red and yellow, it would be orange. It would be fantastic that if you just keep all the colors on the table and give a lot of papers to the child and ask the child that mix the colors and see what happens. And that thrill of discovering, that would remain in the memory of the child forever, I tell you. So please go ahead and do some of these activities. Discover about ants, cobwebs, the spider webs as well, nest of birds on the trees if you have them around. That would be wonderful. And then talk about those things. Then the shape, color, pattern in leaves. Show them the different variety of dots and colors on the different kind of crotons you would have seen, different leaves. Some are long, some are short, some are broad. And then there are so many concepts that, we can convey through the use of leaves and through the discovery method. Give them, show them ask them to collect a lot of stones. Then you can use them for, heavy, light, the rough texture, the smooth texture, and many other things. Then water, eyes, give them eyes and let them observe what happens to the eyes after some time. Let them see how it changes the shape, the flow. With the water also, that once you keep it in refrigerator, how it solidifies, and when you take it out, how it becomes liquid. Cotton you can give them some water, let them see how it absorbs water, different things that absorb water, which do not absorb water, and let the child make a list of things, such things. Give them bubbles and enjoy with them. I would suggest that let's all become children and along with them have fun playing with bubbles, soap. Give them different kind of shells. Talk about the different shapes, sizes, the pointed ones, the broad ones, the long ones, and different kind of things, and have a discussion on that. Then you can give things like feather, tissue, stick, and ask them that if you drop them from a certain height, look at it and tell me what is the rate at which they fall. That would be a wonderful observation for the child. And without your or mine telling, they would understand that which all things fall quickly, which take little longer time, and why the reason. Give them weighing balances if you have. If you do not have, you can create one with small 2 bowls, some threads you can tie and give them. Let them weigh heavy and light things. That would be a wonderful discovery session for them. Measuring scoops, you can give spoons and let them measure that, okay, in this glass of water I can pour 4 spoons or 8 spoons or 10 spoons. The spoons can be of varying sizes. So again, through observation and it would be discovery, it would be a great learning for the children. Another area, as I was telling, digital literacy. Yes, smart boards are here to stay. Every school has been doing that, using the smart board. I just want to take this discussion to a new concept which I have been hearing about coding. A lot of talks happening about coding, and national policy of education also states that, technological literacy has to be given to the children in school. And I was just thinking about it. I do not want that we go very overboard with this concept of coding. So very briefly, I would want that our children, they do not lag behind and they become digital savvy. That literacy also is very important to impart to them. But at preschool level and primary level, what we can do is make it very simple. So in simple words, I just wish to explain about coding, so that a lot of activities which are required for coding, we already are doing in preschools and primary schools, let me tell you very honestly. So we can just keep working on them only. So what is coding basically? See, coding is basically a set of instructions. All right. It could be as simple as, if I want my son to get me a glass of, a bottle of water from refrigerator. So I have to just give him some instructions. All right. So regularly, if I give instruction, it would be something like, okay, get me a bottle. Fine. But if I have to do this as a coding program, what I need to tell my child is, I have to break it into small, small steps. It cannot be like one instruction and then everything is happening. It has to be broken down into small steps. Something like, I would just, the instruction would be something like this. Okay, stand up, walk 3 steps towards right, walk straight, open the door of the fridge, bend a little, pick the bottle, and bring. So that is how we have to break it into small, small components. Another area is, the sequence is very important. I cannot just tell him that, okay, first bend and get the bottle, or open the door and get the bottle. It has to be like the way I said, it has to be from very simple to what I want the child to do it. So, and believe me, we have been doing all these sequencing activities with the children. Like, I'll just give you an example, very common, which we do as all preschool educators do it. It's like, let's make cookies. Okay, so the first sequence in this that has to be followed is, I have to mix all the batter, the material in a bowl. I have to stir it. Then I have to pour it into the tray. And the next sequence is, I have to put the tray into the baking my oven. And then last, I have to take it out and eat the cookies. All right. So that is the sequence which has to be followed. So similarly, in coding also, that sequence has to be taken care of. But as teachers, very important that we stick to basic following instructions, which we keep doing with our children, and keep giving them more and more of such experiences where they follow and listen to the instructions and do it in a sequential order. So we can have number of activities for following the sequence. It could be like washing the car. Okay, apply soap on the car, take a hose pipe, put water on it, and clean it. So that is in simple step, 3 steps. I have just said how to clean the car. So these, we have a lot of sequencing cards. All the teachers know, have these cards. All right. I'm just suggesting that you can use more of these cards in a day-to-day basis, because that is the foundation and the instruction which I said, with breaking them into small steps. The next step is looking for errors. See, that debugging, what is it called in the language of coding? But let's not get carried away with those big words. I don't want to use them, but still, just for I'm just sharing what this process I'm going to explain. Looking for errors. It happens when we code and when we do programs. So what is it? Let me just relate it, what we as preschool educators do, and what we can do for to make the children, get into that mold of being digital savvy. We Very favorite activity of preschool educators is find the odd one out. All right, there could be maybe two vehicles, and say a scooter, a cycle, and a car. So the common thing is, like, they are, car and scooter are two wheels vehicle, but a car is a four-wheel vehicle. So that is a odd one out. So the child has to pick out which is the odd one. That is how they would be trained to pick out the errors when they happen in the coding program. So that is the basic thing. So lots of odd one out picking, that as teachers we have to give them. Two apples, one mango. So that is like the child picks out, okay, that this is different and this is same. Very important concept which we give in preschool education and curriculum. So keep doing that, I would suggest to all of you. Then if and then conditions. It means that, if you do this, then this will happen. All right. So again, in preschool, this is a very important component which we all do. It's like those problem solving questions which we ask children, that, okay, if you want to see the plant grow, then what you have to do? You have to first sow the seeds. All right. If you sow the seeds, then only the plant would come out. So keep doing those if and then conditions as well. One second. Yeah. Next is repeating instructions. Very important when in coding, that, the same instructions, we have to keep repeating that. Click here, then you will go to this page. Click here, you will go to that page. So that is also something which we do in preschool. It is through the different rhymes which we sing for children. Something like Old MacDonald had a farm. See, it has a repeating element in it. Every now and then, an Old MacDonald had a farm. It keeps coming. All right. So from the very beginning only, it's not that we are not exposing, we are training them all for all the things. Once they come of age, say 5th standard, 6th standard, all these things, if we do it till the primary class, that would help the child to do the coding and get into the mold of, being digital savvy, and that digital literacy, which the child would definitely gain. Till then, keep doing all such things. That would be very beneficial to all the children. The next letter is E. Emotional development, very important. All of us, especially the children, are being holed up at home. So for them, it's like, they are not able to express their feelings. Sometimes they are not able to meet their friends. So what we need to really give them a ear and a patient listening to all the children. What we can do is ask them to express how they are feeling: happy, sad, surprised, scared, shy, whatever. Recently, I'll just share you some activities which we had done with our children to build on their emotional development. The next with E, it is exploration. See, it is very rightly said that, tell me and I'll forget, teach me and I'll remember, but involve me and I will learn. So very important that we involve the children in all the activities we do, rather than only just showing them something and tell that, okay, this is the picture of an orange, have a look, understand, you understood, it is a sour in taste, it, you can feel it. No, it's not important only to tell it the child or to teach the child through a 2D method, wherein the teacher or anyone just puts a picture of an orange on the board and tells, okay, this is the orange, now learn. Ideal would be you take a proper orange, let the child see it, explore it, feel it, taste it, feel it, and then talk, count it, play with it. Then everything would come that, okay, it is round, it like the skin is like that, and I can play with it also. And it has juice in it. It is a juicy fruit with this color. So that is the kind of exploration I am talking about, wherein each thing, the hands-on experiences are being given to the children. Very important to do that. Next is experiential learning, very important. It's an active and a reflective process of learning through experience. So what we can do in this is we can ask them to make aeroplanes out of paper. You can ask them to make different aeroplanes of different sizes using different kind of materials, throw them, let the child fly. And another is you can give them balls of different shape and sizes, different balls, like it could be the ping pong ball or the basketball ball or the cricket ball, different balls, and put it on an inclined plane and ask the child to observe and say which ball goes farthest and the fastest. Similarly, with the aeroplane, uh, ask the children to fly the aeroplanes of different shapes and sizes and ask them that which aeroplane is going the fastest and the furthest. And very important is let them reflect on it. It should not happen that they made the aeroplane, they flew it, and you just finish the activity. Very important is we reflect on it, what we saw, why that ball went fastest, why that aeroplane flew furthest, what now I can bring the change in it so that it goes a little more further. So those kind of reflection has to happen. It is not only planning or experimenting or observing a thing, it is reflecting further on that process, why it happened this way, what now I should change it to make it much, much better. All right. Uh, so this is the emotional development, as I was sharing that some days back, we had this online class. We just asked the children, to share what all things makes them happy, sad, surprised. So beautiful responses came from them. I'm happy in garden with friends. I'm happy when I celebrate birthday. Daddy gives me ice cream and I'm happy. Kit Kat, I love chocolates. When it rains, I'm very happy. Here, when my ice cream falls down, I feel sad. When daddy gives me a gift, it surprises me. Or this corona, it's making me sad as I can't go out. So it gives us these drawings, it gives us the understanding about the child. So very important that we understand the child through such experiences. For the exploration, like some more activities I'm just suggesting, what you can do is give them a lot of locks with different keys and let the child just explore. Don't tell them, okay, you put this inside and this will open. You don't have to, as parents or teachers, intervene in this activity. Just leave them with 7, 8 locks, 7, 8 keys, and let them find the perfect match. Similarly, magnet exploration, give them magnet, lot of things, metal things, non-metal things, assorted things you can give them, and let them find out, do it themselves, and make a list of, okay, these are the things with which the magnet sticks, and these are the things they do not stick. So believe me, that learning is what we are looking forward. The next is you can give them rope, pulley, bucket. You can give a model of stethoscope to hear the heartbeats of each other. Texture box to feel the different texture. It could have silk cloth or marble or those normal, that's rough texture things, or our humble Karela, bitter gourd. Let them feel it and see the textures and talk about it. We can take them children for bird watching. In the morning you can just sit in the balconies if you're staying in flats. Let us observe the different kind of birds. If you have an aquarium at home, you can watch the fish, their behavior, how they keep their eyes open, closed. Ask them all kind of questions, that what is that bubble thing coming out, why, what would happen if we live in the water or not. Those kind of open-ended questions can be asked. Turtle watch, if you have a turtle, observe the way phenomena, how the turtle behaves. It would be a fantastic observation and lot of communication that would occur when this is done. Insect watch, someday you can just watch the ants or the spiders weaving weaving a web. It is wonderful to, or a bird making a nest. Expose them to such explorations. You can see water animals the children are exploring, and animals and their habitat here in the picture. Another example which I would share for experiential learning now, so that everybody gets a very clear picture. This was a project some time back we had done. There was like the teacher took a box with her, and just simple a question was asked to the children, that children, is it a box? And then the teacher used, and along with the children, into a different ways. And then it came out that no, a box cannot be a box if it is used in a different ways. So these are some of the ways a box can be used. Okay, as a hat, as a robo, as a satellite. So these are the some of the things the children got an understanding that yes, we can use the box in a number of ways. And the next question which came out was, would you like to make something more things out of the box, now that you know that we can create a lot of things out of box? Then there was a huge, discussion with the children, a brainstorming session. And then the children, they said that yes, they would like to create something like our Vadodara city, where, there is a hospital also in it, hotel is there, a school is there, mall is there, bank is there, lot of houses, temple, shops, petrol pump, zoo. So these are based on their responses of the children. A concept map was made, and then it was decided that yes, we all are going to create a city out of this box. All right, so next what happened was, the children, they got to work, they divided themselves into different groups, what they would make and do things. Different groups took different kind of areas they would be developing. Finally, this is the cardboard city that was ready. And in that cardboard city, as you can see, they had a new era ATM also. Then they had a bus depot also. They had a zoo also, and a petrol pump also on the road. While they were doing this, very important thing what happened was, like, as teachers, what we were observing was the kind of discussions which were happening, and which we were, as a facilitator, we were encouraging those kind of a discussions. So it was like, can we have the zoo in the city? Then it was decided, no, 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 we cannot have the zoo in the city, it has to be somewhere on the outskirts. So it was kept at a secluded, a little far off place from the whole city. Then the petrol pump was like, okay, let's keep it on the main road. And some cash was also given with the ADM. Then the numbers you can see, that is how the children just, they said, let me write the, or they must have seen in petrol pumps when they visit that, those people that they press some numbers, the kind of the amount has to be given, the liters of petrol that has to be filled, or you can see that for the card also inserting, there is a slot. So that is the kind of discussion and the reflecting part goes. And this is what we want in experiential learning. All right. So that is about the experiential learning. Moving on to the next alphabet, finer motor. So a lot of fine motor for their muscle development, we need to give the experiences, and you all know the importance of this, which helps in the writing process. So we give them a lot of activities for this. Field trips, very important to take children out of class learning. And as I say, nature is the best educator. Festival celebrations, so that they get wonderful idea about the different celebrations, the reasons behind it, the culture. So we need to do it. We celebrate each and just now, even though it is online, whether it was Gandhi Jayanti or different festivals, whatever are coming, everything, Ganesh Chaturthi, everything, it was celebrated. Virtual field trips are just now the children are being taken. Some fine motor activities, though you all may be knowing many of this, just at a glance, I'm just sharing few of these. Peeling stickers, stickers or sellotape. See, that is a wonderful activities. We all have sellotapes in home. On the floor, you can just put them and ask the children. When they peel, believe me, that is such a wonderful fine motor activity. Do that if you have not yet given or done that with your children. Popping bubble wraps with our Amazon packets and all, those bubbles are there. A lot of plastics, they do come. So don't discard them. Ask the child to pop them for their finer motor muscle development. Squeezing the bottles, which we have the thrown away kind of bottles, let them squeeze in our shampoo water. You can just fill some water and let them squeeze out the old bottles. Again, finer muscles. Cloth pins, very good for their muscles development. Tracing in sand, shaving cream. Punch hole, give them papers and that punching machine, let them punch as many holes. See, very indigenous ideas, but wonderful. Tongs and all we all have at home, and schools definitely, yes, we do have those regular ones. So for picking up things and keeping from one place to another, you can try giving them kneading floor also. No harm in that. Very good again for their muscle development. Clay is of course there. Buttoning, you can just, their old dresses, you can just ask them, button it. Those hooks are there, let them take out those hooks and put it inside, rather than buying, toys and costly ones. These are very indigenous activities, which each and everyone can do with their children. Zipping, we can have some old pants or shorts, and it can be zipped and unzipped. Cloth folding into 4 folds, 5 folds, that can be done. Ink dropper, again the children can squeeze it, put from one bowl to another. The concentration increases, muscle development happens, and observation, and it is a wonderful activity for the children. Field trips, as I said, you can take them to nearby places. Just now, talk to them about it. Festival celebrations. Moving to the next letter, it's letter G, gross motor activities. Give them a lot of action thing wherein the child is just on a move. See, we all know that children of this age group, 7, 8 years, till 17, 8 years, they like to be on a move. So give them that running, jumping, throwing, twisting, shaking, all those kind of experiences. A lot of games can be given, indoor games, outdoor games, with balls, those board games, the family games. Indigenously, many games can be developed also that the parent can give them. Very simple ones. I'll just share in the next slide. The next is group discussion. So again, this is our the common famous, the circle time with children, which we do. Every day the teachers take up any topic, talk about it, listen from children what they feel about it, ask them, discuss them. That is about the group discussion part. So this, as I was telling, the gross motor activities, the jumping ones, the balancing ones, the balancing the ball on their heads and then moving. So simple, they can keep some books on their head, or some plastic bowls or baskets, and then they can walk from one room to another. These are the kind of activities can be given at home as well. Group discussion with real objects. The children, they see, touch, hear, and then real time learning. So show them as many real things. This is what exactly we all have been doing them. that nothing real can beat the real learning with real objects. Next letter is letter H, healthy habits. Very important to start early with healthy habits, healthy food. Let them eat everything, very important. Good manners. Everything has to start very early. So keeping the peel in dustbin, those are good habits which constantly we have to talk or tell them not to throw the litter here and there in their surroundings, keeping themselves clean, wiping their nose with handkerchief, cleaning teeth twice. So some of the habits I'm just sharing. So these are the kind of things. Healthy food, yes, giving them proper mix of each and every food. Next letter is letter I, interpersonal skills, Indo free play, and third is inquiry based learning. See, interpersonal skills is basically children talking with each other, sharing things, waiting for their turns, and cooperating with each other. All right. So in online classes also they wait for their turns. When the teacher asks them to mute, unmute, they come and talk. So those are the kind of things, or they share the things that okay, now you will do those kind of things. So which we need to give a lot of importance. Indo free play, it could be with the glasses, which I shared some of them with the clay, the different activities that can be done. It could be through cards also, through board games also, finding out some numbers from the cards set if you have, or it could be a kind of a treasure hunt that, okay, hunt this from that room, or it could be, okay, some brush, I've kept it there in that room, you have to hunt and tell me where is that. So those are the kind of activities. Just now we do the games like I Spy, wherein we just ask the child that okay, get me something that is yellow, that is soft, and things like that, or something that begins with letter R. The child has to hunt something and get it for us. So that kind of a play can happen with the children at home just now. Or it could be some shape things, okay, get me some round things, get me some square things, or it could be with colors also, get me some blue color objects. So those are the kind of things. Moving on to the next, we have inquiry based learning. See, it is very important that in inquiry based learning, again, I'll take a little more time in this field because it is something very important. It is very important that we understand that inquiry based learning is basically asking a lot of questions and listening to the child. When we talk to them, normal conversation, there are many things in a day which a child tells us which is really out of the box. But we as parents and teachers, we somehow miss using that opportunity to teach them or to make the learning to a next level. I would just give you an example that some time back it happened that I was just talking to children about alphabet A to Z and the vehicles that begin with different alphabet. So we reached on O. So I was just asking the children that, children, can you tell me what begins with letter O? And they were like, okay, oil tanker begins with the letter O. Then suddenly we were talking about vehicles. And then thought crossed to my mind. I was just wondering whether how many children they know what is oil and what are the different kind of, such oils. So I just asked the children that, do you know what oil is? And then the children were, you wouldn't believe, they were like, ma'am, we have like mummy cooks with oil, and there are different kinds of oil. There is this olive oil, there is this coconut oil, and we have this oil which my grandma puts in her sewing machine. And then there is some oil, which my father uses to put it in the lock to open when it gets jammed. So that is what I'm telling when I say inquiry based learning, taking the learning to the next level. And rather than telling the child, it is very important that when that sense of wonder occurs into the child, and when they ask a lot of questions, we have to give them answer. Or if we do not have answers, nothing to worry, we can together search. We can ask the child that, I do not know the answer, let us do it and let us try to find it out. So again, I'll just give you some more examples. This is the cycle, like when a child is getting awestruck by seeing something, we can just ask the child to think something, try something, observe, record, and discover something. Let me just, these are the different activities for indoor free play. These are some of the questions that can be asked. That we normally do this dancing racing in experiment with soda and vinegar. So we can just there are certain children who normally ask that what would happen, if instead of raisins we would put peas or peanut or marble in place, what would happen? So what we tell them, rather than telling the children the answer, we tell, why don't you find it out? So we give the materials to the child, and the child just discovers on his or her own, and then they keep making a record. As you can see in the picture, there were things like, okay, things that dissolve in water and things that do not dissolve in water. As you can see the list, we gave them flour, sand, salt, chalk powder, stone, glasses of water, and they are all mixing one by one, and they're putting the mark also and crosses also, the things that are soluble or insoluble. Similarly, when we go for nature walks, the color of the leaves is green. We ask such questions. Why is it? So we can always say that, yes, let us find it out. Why do ants always walk in a straight line? Can just tell them, let's try to break their path and see what happens, observe, and let us find it out together. So then another interesting activity is like, we can freeze small toys in the ice tray and let the children discover the ways to get the toys out of the ice. Let them come out with ideas, that, and let them do. We as adults need not kind of intervene in everything, then that wonderful opportunity of learning gets lost. Just give them, believe me, the children can be very independent, and they can do, they can think, and they can find out answers for themselves. What we just need to be a little patient, like as I said, let them discover the ways by how they can get the toys out of the ice. If you've still not tried, please do that activity, I would suggest. Mm, try different, what are the different things that melt. Give them butter, paneer, different kind of things, and let them see it for themselves, what all would melt, what wouldn't melt. Ghee, liquid, water, whatever, ice, give them those kind of things. Different uses of ropes, give them ropes and tell me, and ask them, okay, suggest some ways in which we can use the rope. You would be surprised to see the responses with which the children, they come out. All right, so this is it about the inquiry based learning. The next letter is J, jubilant times with friends. Who doesn't like happy times? So have fun with children, let them have a lot of fun. Kinesthetic experiences, as I already said, a lot of motor activities. Some of the activities can be done like this: twisting, bending, mopping, marching, shaking, climbing, throwing, with this hula hoop twisting. Do all those things. Wonderful activities can be done. Next letter, logical reasoning with letter L. Language skills, very important skills. Leadership, yes. I'll begin with the bottom one. Leadership, because very important. Give them small responsibilities, let them do things independently. They can do wonders. Let us allow them to do things, rather than curb that their chances of making decision, taking responsibilities. They can do wonders, children. And if it is developed from a young age, let them talk, let them decide things, let them mix with people, let them face the challenges. Language skills, yes. Listening, listen to the children. A lot of speaking experiences. Keep showing objects, keep talking to the children. Reading, print rich environment can be given. Okay, you can just ask those different labels in the packets you get, or on the roads, the different labels you can read along. Writing is definitely an important area for the language skills. Logical reasoning, this is again one of my favorite activities, and I would just like to suggest how we go about doing this. This is the kind of grid we provide to the children, and we ask them to just simply observe first this grid, second grid, third grid, and the fourth grid. The simple question that we pose to the child is, okay, in this white blank grid which you can see at number 4, which color would come? We let them explore, see it, and discover on their own, rather than directly jumping to the answers. Believe me, they are very good observers. and they come out with responses. So this is a great activity for building logical reasoning in children. So as you can see, the red color, it is first it's here, then it moves to second, then it's down, and then on the right side. So the red would come here. The next is important area is compare and contrast for the language development. Two vehicles, the differences, we can ask them, the child, to narrate the differences between, any two similar looking vehicles, and in between the child, the similarities can be shared. So these are the responses for their vocabulary development, for the responses. And the children, they come out with wonderful responses that, okay, a car has a door, whereas a scooter doesn't have a door. On a scooter, you have to wear a helmet, whereas in this you do not. It has a window, it doesn't have a window, it has a handle, two wheels, four wheels. And these are the common things which are there in both scooter and car. Brakes are there, wheels are there, tires are there, petrol, they run on petrol. So those are the kind of things for compare the similarities and the differences. It is very important that the children, they become observant and see such minute things. And you can do from the very beginning more such experiences. And the pre-educators, they definitely give such kind of experiences. Words of the week, whatever the project talk is going on, the important wow words are written on the board. So at home also you can have a board. And right now in the online classes also, many teachers are using these boards with the words at the back, wherein the child reads, talks about them, and that is about the language development, how it occurs. The next letter is M. As I was sharing, a lot of music and movement experience. Put some music, dance, uh, and have a fun with children. It's a great boost to the mind and body. Apart from that, very important in this chaotic time is, I would suggest, being mindful. That is, spend some time along with the children in closing their eyes and listening to what is happening in their surroundings. Close their eyes with some nice soothing music. Being thankful to all the blessings which the child has. Talking about it, and appreciation to the people around them is very important, and it kinds of builds the mindfulness in the children. Very small activities but very relevant ones, please. So can be done with children. Next is nature education, as I was sharing, out of classroom learning. Number literacy, very important. Nature education, as I said, you can observe so many things in the environment. From the nature, you can learn about the different birds flying, the cool breeze, or the leaves, the different leaves, the different kind of flowers, insects, those, the texture of the trunk of the trees. Enormous kind of learning happens when we go out in the nature and talk with the children according to the numbers, according to the shapes. One favorite activity which I would just like to share is, I have who has cards. It's a simple game, like each child is given a card, and suppose the teacher begins the first card. It's like, I have 4, who has 8 plus 3. So the next child, whosoever has 11, would say that I have 11, who has 4 plus 5. So the third child would say that I have 9, who has 9 plus 8, and so on it continues. And it is not only with this we can do with simple things with alphabet also. I have J, who has M. I have M. The second child would say, I have M, who has R. The third child would say, I have R, who has Z. So those kind of things, it could be with color. I have red, who has yellow, and so on and so forth, it goes on. Next activity is outdoor free play. Problem solving, puppetry, very important to make puppetry a part of classroom enjoyable. Play based learning, everything the child does, the learning happens through play. Never underestimate the power of play. It's really a great learning for the child when they are playing. I'll just say what problem solving when I say. See, it is through the simple activity wherein, I'm just asking the child that there is a problem. This monkey wants to go and have the bananas, but a lot of hurdles are there in between. So can you just tell how the monkey would go to the banana? So, those are the kind of responses we want the child to think and come up that, okay, and these are the different cutouts we can give, or it could be done in online classes wherein the child tells us, okay, ma'am, this arrow you have to use, but the child will just go straight right side, then another right side, the child would move forward, then the monkey would go down, and that's how the monkey would reach to the banana. So that is a small problem. Like if the monkey would go from here, there would be this obstacle. So that is how we have to do this problem solving activities with children. Another problem solving activity could be, we can just ask that, we have this Gopu, a fictitious child made out of cardboard, and he wants to, this water body he wants to cross. So what material would this Gopu use? And we provide them with a lot of material. As you can see, the bowl is there, some sticks are there, candy sticks are there, some different flat things are there which are given. Through experimentation, the child first drops them and realizes that, okay, these candy sticks are there which would float in the water. So they just combine them together, and this is our Gopu made out of cardboard. And that is how the journey of crossing the water body begins, and solving the problem. So something like this can be done wherein, the child is experimenting and realizing how it can be done. Puppet show, manipulative toys, questioning, very important. For everything I have been repeating that, very important that we give quiet time also to the children, the one which I said about mindfulness. Sometimes the child, we should ask that sit in the balcony and simply observe the clouds there, the shapes, if rainbow is there, the bright sun you observe, the breeze you observe, the butterflies, the simplest sit and observe. That is also a great learning, believe me. Questions have to be very open ended when we talk with the children. It cannot be a closed ones like, okay, would you want to dance? Yes or no? See, that is the only answer. We do not want such questions. Okay. So whenever you're posing the questions, it has to be very open ended, wherein, a lot of things the child has to add. So have a look at this. Some questions I have put. What do you like the best about your about the city, or what is something special that you do with your grandparents? What things will you pack in bag if you're going for picnic? Very open-ended questions. If you could give a gift to a child, what gift would you give? What do you do when your friend is sad? These are the kind of things we need to do. Our reading readiness, resources, reflective thinking. So, as I said, that for reading readiness, we do a lot of such experiences: picture description, shared reading, read aloud from the books, vocabulary development. A lot of resources are given to the children. It is not important that we give a lot of costly toys to the children. We can give indigenous material that are available from the home, and let them do a lot of reflective thinking about how can I create things out of it. So let me just share an example about a loose part play. See, we give them a lot of materials like, this is a loose part or a collection of materials given to the children which they can explore. uh, these are the some examples of the material that we can give: some straws, some washing machine pipes, plastic bowls, wooden blocks. And once when we gave them, these are some of the things that they had created. So you can see question mark, houses, bow, arrow, windmill. These are some of the things they had created. Let me show you the pictures. That is the railway track the child had created. This is a arrow the child created. This is the gate of the palace.
Miss Garg, can I just, sorry to interrupt, but we are running short of time. It's already been an hour. So I would
Yeah,
request if you can quickly wind up, please. We have
yeah, I'm
questions.
just surely winding up. Yeah, I'm just winding up. Yeah, Shilpi. So question mark. The next letter is S. Lot of science activities can be given to the children. Stories, songs, social development. I have been talking about the different science experiences. These are the different topics on which science experiences are being given. The next letter is T for the thinking skills. So these are the kind of questions that can be asked to the children for building. Teamwork is another important area on which we can focus. Another activity is the coding one. ABCD are given some number codes, and then child has to figure out, like suppose 8 is there, H would come, that is the code. 5 is written, 5 is E, so E would come. 1, it is A, and 4 is D. So these kind of experiences can be given for interpersonal skills and collaborative skills, passing the water, using the senses to describe things can be done. Sensory experiences are provided using the senses. Values, very important. Variety of experiences. I've been sharing a lot of experiences. Writing readiness. We all know that writing readiness, the pre-writing exercises have to be given to the children and then move on to the writing one. Why exercises in yoga? Z, last but not the least, having fun with children with a lot of happiness, enjoyment, inspiration, positive thoughts. That is the main thing of the whole program. So enjoy with your children, everyone, all the teachers and all the parents out there. And that's it from me. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shilpi. I'll just stop sharing.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Because we never knew that A to Z were more than an alphabet, or a collection of alphabets, and they meant so much. Yeah. I mean, had we had time on hand, we would have actually gone into the details. But then, as it is, our talks are on not cannot go beyond an hour or so. All
Understood.
right.
Yeah.
So when we come to this holistic education, I would request the audience also, if you have any questions, please you can put them in the comments. I will ask Ms. Garg to answer them. All right, from my side, the question is, when we talk of holistic education, we usually focus on the primary and the elementary schools. Is it possible with higher grade children also? I'm keeping in mind the syllabus and the curriculum that they have to pursue.
Hmm. No, yes, definitely for higher education, like level children also that can be done. The holistic development, it is a common thing for anyone. Physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, very important. They do face such issues of emotions. So all the development, it should cater from not by only students. I would say anybody, the adults from preschool to any age category. They have this holistic issues, and definitely yes, for children it is all the more important that these are the growing years. So definitely yes.
All right. So, asking also, most of them have words of appreciation for you. They found this session very wonderful. And they found it very engaging and a very knowledgeable session. Thank you so much. And the other thing is that I would like to ask you is, when we talk about holistic education in elementary, you know so
Middle level.
yeah, middle level and elementary schools, um, how much time does it consume? I mean, I know it's like dependent upon how the teacher tries to encompasses it and how she makes it engaging along with the lessons. She can tie it up with the lessons that she's taking up in the class. She can do that. But practically speaking, like, is it that this could be done every day, or is it that it's a weekly thing, or it's one of the things that can be done?
At elementary level, Shilpi, these kind of things, yes, definitely they gradually reduce, but it is not that we have to stop them altogether. We can work out a frame schedule, because then what is our main aim is learning should be there. It should not be a rote memorization. All right, that is the main objective, be it secondary section or the primary section. What if our purpose doesn't get served? So I suggest, yes, we have to take out time for even at the middle level for all such activities, for sure. The frequency may reduce definitely.
So, do you also like get into parents also? Are they also somewhere a part of it, or it is just confined to the schools?
No, no, parents have to be a very important partners for anything that is definitely needed in terms of the guidance providing to the children, that is needed, because when you do such kind of experiences and all, definitely we need the support from now that we are not in school. Had it be been in school, the things are provided by the teachers. just now it is like, that is why we call it kind of homeschooling. In this current scenario, I would, the role of the parents is also definitely very important.
So, my last question would be, what future do you see of holistic education in India, where people have still not got used to the idea so much? They still believe in those rote and methods and those instructional teaching. Parents, if you just bring them to the class and they see a child catching a caterpillar in the hand and sitting and watching it, so they feel like, oh my god, is this a class going on? So, how long do you think? I mean, do you really think that people in India are accepting this kind of changing trend in education? And how do you think how acceptable are they towards it?
I do agree, for a certain section of parents, it's like marks are the ultimate thing. But definitely,
Yes,
I
yes,
see a lot of changes happening in schools with teachers and parents. I wouldn't generalize that, all parents are, running after the marks and all. There, that winds of change I can see even in parents. They leave it to the child, whatever the talents or the potentials of the child are. They do
yes,
understand. I think definitely it is happening more and more. And now that with the national education policy in place, wherein a lot of freedom given to the children to explore things and do as per their choices, more changes I do envisage. But it has definitely been there. I can see that a lot of importance given to holistic education in all the schools as well now.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Garg, for being a part of the Disruptive Education once again. And we look forward to you having another session where you get more time to speak about it. And definitely in the near future, we'll call you back for another lovely session, that we had today. I'm really sorry for the shortage of time. Otherwise, we would have continued to take it on. Thank you so much once again. And the others, please stay tuned in for other informative talks which are coming up in within this week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shilpi. Bye.
Welcome.